Hello everyone. Today in this video, I'll be showing you guys how to query documents with Prismic and Nuxt. We'll be going over on how to load more and search for blog posts. Stay tuned. Alright, so before I show you guys how we're going to start writing this with code, I'll be demonstrating how the process will look like in GraphQL. So let's open up the browser. So this is basically how the query looks like when we write it out. So as you can see, the parameters inside this query are actually necessary, especially the language, the full text, which is going to record. This is basically a variable that will record the input that's being typed out in the search bar. So the text in the search bar. So that's what this is. And this is gonna order the blog post by the date from the latest to the oldest. So depending on what date you put in your blog post. And this first variable is basically gonna show only the first three that it fetches. So for us, it's gonna fetch the first three latest blog posts. And this after cursor, it's a bit more complex to say as of now, but I'll show you what we're gonna be doing. And so for the query variables, we're gonna have to actually record two. So full text is basically what's gonna record. So in the search bar, so I'm just pretending like I'm searching for a blog post that has like the keyword ideas inside of it. And now for the cursor. So this is basically like the location of the blog post, or it's kind of like an ID that's assigned to it. So let me just show you the first three. So we're just gonna clear this out so it doesn't search for a specific one. So it grabs the first three. So I just made ones up. So it finds the one called How to Find an Elixir, or Remember to Take Your Medicine, and Getting Started with LEGO. So those are the latest three. Alright, so for every blog post, it's gonna be assigned like a string variable, which is of course the cursor. So the cursor is basically that. And as you can see, I've actually just wrote it down in the query that's gonna grab. So so each blog post should have a cursor. So here's an ID. Here's the ID for the How to Find the Elixir blog post, and obviously the other ones have them as well. So if we scroll all the way up, the start cursor is basically the first blog post that was shown on the page. And obviously the end cursor is what's the last blog post that the query fetched. So let's just remember the last three characters. So JI equals, and that's going to be the last blog post that the cursor is assigned to. So if we scroll all the way down, as you can see, I equals, the last blog post is obviously Getting Started with LEGO. So that's the one that we fetched out of the first three. And so for the purposes of this video, I've actually only created 6 blog posts. So I'm only showing the first 3, so let's just show all of them actually. So 6, and as you can see, now all of them are showing. And now I'm going to show you guys how to search for one specifically. So the purpose of the full text is just for that. So let's say we want to search for the Elixir blog post, and the full text variable is basically going to see which keywords aren't inside the content or the title, description, or probably even the alt tag inside the image. I think, but we can always test it out. So yeah, let's find the Elixir blog post. So just all you have to do is type in Elixir, and then just run the query again. And as you can see, we can't really scroll down since it only got one blog post, which was obviously the one that we were trying to look for. And so this is the concept of how we're gonna implement this with the search bar on the website. So yeah, hopefully that's basically clears it up. It's not really like overly engineered, just something like that type of type of thing. Alright, so let's actually head on over to the website that we'll be modifying. So here it is. So I only made just two pages, so you can just focus on just like the blog and stuff. So on the blog page, we're gonna add the logic onto the search bar and the show more button. So yeah, that's what we're gonna try to accomplish. Obviously, since this is live on Netlify, I haven't really done anything yet. So alright, so now let's actually start writing the code for this. So just open up any text editor that you have, and so as you saw on the web page, I basically wrote everything, like the styling, the CSS, the HTML, and we're just gonna be adding the logic with code. So yeah, so I already wrote up what type of function it's gonna call. It's only gonna be calling this is the search bar, so it's gonna call the search post and the load more post button. So if we scroll all the way down to the functions, so they're obviously empty. So yeah, let's get started on writing the load more post button. Alright, so these three variables are required for the search bar to actually work. So for the type name, we're just gonna be copying something similar, but alright. So it should look like that. Let's see. Oops, actually should not be in parentheses. And for the edges, we're just gonna only fetch the latest blog post. So we're gonna be using like the spread operator for it to fetch each object from the array. So let's see. Blog post. So it's really similar. We're just gonna be copy and pasting around. So and then we return the edges. So this is the new edges that's coming from the newest blog post that we're getting from. And page info is just the same thing. So and that should be it for the search post. So this if it's still not clear as of now, don't worry. It takes a while to like see how this actually works together. So yeah, just take your time seeing just looking at the function and just seeing like how it just grabbed the information from it. Alright, so now we're going to continue on writing out the load more function. So you'll be surprised, it's actually the same amount of code. We're just only going to be changing three things, which is the full text, cursor, and the edges. And that's basically it. It's just the same amount of code, just like the other one. So for the variables, we actually need to return both from the parameters. So search term and the current cursor. So the current cursor in our case is the end cursor. So if you look inside the parameters that we sent, see all the way up, as you can see, it's getting the end cursor from the current query that we've sent. In our case, the first three. So this so the end cursor is required for it to be recorded and sent inside the parameters. And now since that's set up, we're gonna be moving onto the edges. And so this is a bit complicated. So like we can just write out the same code just like last time, but how is it gonna how's it gonna attach to the previous ones and load more? Kind of like, you know, just like when you keep scrolling down, you expect it to just keep adding new ones. But if we actually need to write we actually need to use a concat function for it to work. So the concat function and the concat function actually just keeps adding onto the existing ones. So the existing ones won't go away, and the new ones will keep displaying all the way on the bottom. And so that how that will look like is just like this. So this basically the edges of how they're recorded. So this is so as you can see, we're getting the previous blog post, which is the first 3, and then we're gonna concatenate them with the next 3. So we're just basically adding on to the existing ones until there's no more, obviously. So yeah, that's how it works. Alright, so after I committed my changes onto GitHub, let's head on over to the website. So let me just refresh this, and let's click on the blog, and let's first test out the load more button. So as you can see, we fetched the first 3 since we wanted to fetch the first 3 when we specified it inside the query parameters. So yeah, if you click on the blog post, it actually loads up really nicely. So, and if you click on the link, it does refresh, but it's pretty fast. Alright, so and now for the search bar. So it basically the search function actuates when I type out anything on the keyboard. So you don't have to press enter, but pressing enter definitely, like, let's say if it acts finicky, then pressing enter would definitely fix it. So out of the blog post, let's search up the quit 95. So let's see, quit, and it finds it really instantly. So if we clear it out, it goes back to normal, and nothing breaks actually. So let's see, let's search for another one, golden bullet, and it works really nicely. So yeah, and thank you for watching the video. So I hope you liked it, and hopefully now you know how to do this on your own blog. So thanks. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and hopefully I'll make more videos soon. And yeah, thanks for watching the video. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.